Welcome in. Hello, hello. I'm trying to get these like bowling alley one-piece cards. There's like a thing you can do to fill out to get them. I had it up, but it had to do like some verification thing, and then it just broke. And it took like 30 minutes to send an email, so I quit out of it and it broke. So it is what it is. Anyway, if you are here and if you are watching, welcome in. Let me make sure the links I sent out on Twitter are actually correct, because that would be a shame if they're not. Let me click some buttons just to make sure. So if you're new here, we're making a Magnus Carlsen design. Looks like everything's good, so that's good. And we're pretty much done with it. So today I think what we want to do, maybe we make a back. Backs I think can be pretty easy to make, but we'll make a back to this, and we will also go in and try to figure out what to do with the holographics. And I kind of already know what to do with those, so we're going to do that now. We're going to see what notes we left. I don't remember exactly what we wanted to fix from Friday. This has been a 3 or 4 day stream figuring this out and just adding little details to this. So let me click on my things to do. I think we did all of this. I know at the very end I was adding this like thing down here. I think we weren't happy with the colors. I think we wanted to tweak the colors a little bit just to be like, hey, this doesn't really work. Let's figure something else out. But everything you see that's purple or pink, magenta is going to be holographic. And a lot of other stuff is going to be holographic too. It just depends on what do we want to make holographic and not. What's up, Bradley? So let me go here. Oh, let me hide these. This is all a bunch of effects we did after the fact. I think what I want to do is my gold logo and the badge. Oh, that's that. So my gold logo and then the debut logo. Where's the debut logo? Gold logo copy. Oh, I wanted it to be behind that because it changed. Okay, I think I can put this back up here actually. I'm trying to organize some stuff on here too, just a little bit. This can go right here. Okay. So these I think are a little weird with how, let me see, is that the, okay. These are a little weird with how they're done. So I'm just gonna grab a curves layer. I'm just gonna darken these up a little bit. Jeez. I'm gonna darken them up a little bit, but we're gonna darken, like, it doesn't match. It doesn't fit. It doesn't fit great. So I'm gonna go in here and we're just gonna kind of do this. Darken some of this up a bit. Maybe it's like this is kind of blurry because I made it bigger. This one isn't. Let's just group these together real quick and let's just give them an inner shadow that's coming from here. That is, I don't know, this color. We're going to do multiply and set it to like 50%. Distance, I don't know, 20, size 40. I don't know, they kind of stick out, but it doesn't really matter. They're kind of there. I just want them to fit in a little bit better. But let's figure out what we want to do with some of these files. Okay, what I'm going to do is, this is dangerous to do. All right, we're going to delete all hidden layers. So now we're working with just the design itself. So we have the design, we've got this holographic in the back. So if we were to print this right now, it'd look like this. And it would look terrible because that's just, you know, what it would print if we were printing on a regular printer. So I talk about printing a lot, and I could do a better job of explaining there aren't a lot of home remedies for printing. Most of what I talk about when printing is done with a professional who has a $1 million printer or $180,000 printer. And then you can get these printed with them. But there are some options that I'm looking into that hopefully work. So what we're going to do is we duplicated this design layer. I'll make it actually say design. I'm just going to keep refreshing these random things. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to look at this layer. And this is something I'll do while I'm working and go, what do we want to be holographic? So we want this to be holographic. We want the purple to be holographic. We might want the blue to be holographic too, just for fun. I think this is going to be all holographic. And then for this, the black's going to be holographic. So the black's going to be holographic here, but the white's going to be holographic here. And then I think these spots of blue can also be holographic and behind his name. This is going to be an interesting spot to see how it looks. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to hide this. And we're going to work our way backwards. So there's a color fill and a pattern overlay here. So this pattern overlay is doing a lot. So I'm going to set this pattern overlay to 100%. And it's going to look like this. So that's actually, I'm trying to think here. So this is our background. So we're going to group this together. And this is the background. So what we want to do is we want to get rid of anything that's dark. So we're going to say we want to print the white, but we don't want to print the black. So we want the white to be anywhere where this layer is dark. We want to be see-through, kind of like that. So we just go in and we just change the blend if to be that. The other one we want to do the other way. So we can grab current layer and drag it this way. So anything that's light is going to be see-through, and then we're going to see holographic from that. This is where a lot of weird things happen. So I'm going to group all of this together. So this is the background. This is the frame. The frame I think we want to be fully opaque, so we're going to leave that on here. What I like to do though is if I have any drop shadows, we get rid of the drop shadows. So if there's any shadows of any sort, so like this is actually a shadow, and then this is a shadow, we get rid of that. So we get rid of that, so it's nice, crisp white that it's printing. So we have the frame. That's good. So on top of the frame, we have this word Magnus. And it looks like this. So I'm going to group this together. So it looks like this. So we want to take that and we want to remove it from everything below it so we can see through everything. So I'm going to group just everything we have in a layer and then mask that out and invert it so we can see through it. Now we have to hide this. So now we can see it says Magnus. And I think that's what we want to do. So we've got that there. We've got these two guys here. And usually what I do now is we take everything, put it in a group, and we just sort of stack upwards. So I'm going to put this into a group. We're going to highlight these two. And we're going to remove, invert. And then we can hide these. So now we can see those squiggles. We can get rid of a shadow. We have these. So we're going to put this into a group. And I'm only doing stuff that we're actually visibly seeing. Put this into a group, invert. And then hide. So now we can see that those wave guys we can see through. And then we can figure out what we want to see through and what we don't want to see through. So it's gradient fill we don't need. The chess pieces are fine the way they are. I want to see the chess pieces fully. So then we can grab everything down here just to make this easier and group it together. So we have these little areas behind Magnus. We're going to hide all of these. We're going to mask this out. We're going to invert this. So now we can see all these scribbles behind him are going to be see-through and transparent as well. Then on Magnus himself, I'm going to turn this into a group. What I'm going to do, this is tricky because I want to grab this, I want to grab this. I basically want to mask that out and then invert it. But I also want to invert it from everything down here. So we need to make a new group. Oh, see, I can't make a new group. It's weird. I can make a new group here. So I can hit new group, but I can't use the hotkey make a new group. It's interesting. So here's what I want. I want this and I want this to mask out. But if I do that, oh, I can't put this into a group. See, there's too many groups. I have too many groups in here. Like you can only have so many groups. So look, new group. It doesn't put it in the group. Isn't that weird? That's so weird. There's probably some groups in here I can get rid of. Like we can probably put. So let's try and troubleshoot that. So we're gonna put all this up a group. Now can I group this together? There. Now I can group this. So if I put this here and invert it, it's masking it out, but I don't want it to mask out other stuff. I only want it to mask to Magnus. So I'm going to grab Magnus, invert the selection, and then delete this way. There. So now it's where Magnus is, but it's on there and it's what we want. Mike, what's good? We're making a Magnus Carlsen card. It looks like this right now. So we've spent 2 or 3 days making this. Maybe, yeah, 3 days about. So it's pretty much done. So I'm just setting it up to be theoretically print ready. And we are almost done setting up the white layer. So some of this stuff, so these are some more scribbles. So I'm going to hit Command D, or I'm going to hit a button I have, and we're just going to delete these like this. Because I can't make it into another group because it'll just break. So we're going to hide these. So now the green scribbles that we have are also going to be holographic. The text now we need to be holographic. So we're going to grab both of these and then again, theoretically, group everything together, but we can't. So what we have to do now, is basically group this together and invert it and then just delete this from here. And the reason I like to do it in so many groups is so you can go back and edit it easily if you add a new character or a new person. But if it's always going to be Chess Kings, like if it's always going to be Chess Kings, I have to edit all these scribbles on the inside every time I do this here. So we have the text there. We have our gold logos. We don't need any of these overlays, but they don't do anything. And then what is this layer? Nothing? Okay, good. I think we're done. So now if I turn... So this is the CMYK layer. This is the white layer. So if I turn the CMYK layer on and the white layer, you can see what we're working with now. So we've got all of this stuff that is a specific color. And what we can do too is we can duplicate this and set it to color. And then that will allow some of this holographic to be seen a little bit better. Hold on. It has to duplicate it, have it set to multiply, and then it has to change the color blending mode to be color. And it's adding all these blur effects and stuff along the way. Really, I could have just like made it into its own smart object and then fixed it that way, but it's fine. There. So now it looks like this. I'm going to change this back holographic pack. I'm going to change this. This is called Shimmy Shimmy Ya. This is a parallel I have on my website that I created. I'm going to search my computer real quick for different ones because I don't want it to look like that. I want like circles, I think. Oh God, I just went to a random folder. Hold on, please hold. So I've got a bunch of parallel hacks that I made. Here's my card stuff. So one of them is Parallel Pack 3. Crunchy ice. We got cubes. I should have made some of these lighter in hindsight. So we're going to do Discotheque. So we're going to grab Discotheque down here. And you see how dark it is? It like wouldn't technically be that dark. It would be a lot lighter. So that's why I kind of want to tweak some of these. But I can show you what this look like without it. So that's what it looks like. So I mean, that's kind of what paper looks like. We can probably expose it up a we can probably do like a curves adjustment and go like this. And move the darks up. It probably would look kind of like that. So then we print white. Then we print the CMYK on top, and it would look like this. Kind of that, but not. I mean, it would look like this. But it would print better. And it would print cooler than this. The problem is this color here. And you can see we can go up here. We can just change stuff on here. So if we want to change color parallels, boom, this is gold now. You know, then we can change the background to be whatever. And it won't translate great digitally. It won't translate as well. Because you can see Chess Kings is kind of hard to see, which it is. And we can tweak that. You know, we can always give this text a stroke and give it an outer stroke of like 3 or like 5. We give it another stroke that maybe is 3, but it's white. And then it says Chess Kings. But if you see this holographically, you would be able to see what this is. So like I can give this a stroke so it digitally looks better where it's on the outside and it says like 10. And then you can definitely see it. But I think this is really what I want it to look like. And you can see, so we can see some of the background here and we can see a lot of the background here. Now the problem is, one thing I didn't see, we need to mask this out. We need to mask the background out of the background so this white doesn't show through. And I just did it on the wrong. I did it in the wrong group. So I got to come down here. And I don't know if I can group these anymore. Because there's like a billion groups down here and it's just like real mad. See how many groups we have? Mike, did you know if you're in here that you can only have a certain amount of groups? It's apparently a thing. There. This is what it should look like. It should look like this. Okay. This is what I wanted. Okay, so I'm going to hit save. We got to change the yellow text back, though. So we got to figure out what do we want the initial colors to be on this. Because there's a lot of colors going on. Yeah, and I Googled it last time and it was just like, nah, you can have as many groups as you want. And I'm like, no, you can't. Maybe there's a setting. Like, is there a group setting? It'd be under like performance. Yeah, see like history states, cache levels. No, it wouldn't be that. Cache tile size? No, it wouldn't be any of these. It wouldn't be that. Image processing? No. Yeah, I don't know. It's peculiar. I'll have to ask Pinsky about that. Howard. He'll know. He works at Adobe. He's a Photoshop evangelist. Okay, so we're going to change this back to be just 100% magenta. So now it's 100% magenta. We'll make this one 100% magenta too. Which it isn't now, but we'll just make it. It's close. I just like magenta. So we'll save. See, it just doesn't translate how it's supposed to. I think what I might need to do, honestly, is just like do a solid color of white and make it like, why are you updating smart objects? It's literally that doesn't make any sense. And make this like 50% so you can see it. I think this might be what I need to do. So then you can read that it says Chess Kings. But in reality, you'd be able to read it just fine. So we'll go back here. See how this updates. See, like all this stuff should be holographic. Which it wasn't before. I wonder why. Is there a gradient somewhere? We'll see what happens when this updates. So it updated. So what we can do is we can try and figure this out by going with our design and our white. Turn our design off. Turn our white off. No, see, it's fine. It's just... That's interesting. It's just the way it is. That's bizarre. Okay, well. Save that here. Then we'll go back here. We've got our final design now. And the plan with this is hopefully to quickly change it for like 4 or 5 guys. And then change it to say Chess Queens. And you can see it reads really well here without any sort of effects. But as soon as we put some effects on it, yeah, I literally, yeah, total layer memory limits of the program. Okay, well, how do I fix that then? Adobe. So I have to go in here and then just give myself more RAM. Just up the cache levels. File handling. Always ask before saving layered. No, I want to turn that off. Whatever. We'll just do that. Okay, so we're gonna hit save. So this is kind of the final design. It's really now what colors do we want to make it? And the color changing is easy. We already have the white done. So now we can change these colors to whatever we want. So we can hide white, go here, delete this, just 'cause it's fine, we don't need it. So I think what would look good for Chess Kings actually here is if we make this a lighter, brighter color. So we're gonna make it cyan. And that's just because I like cyan, as you can tell. Big cyan guy. We'll go in here, we'll change this color overlay, and we'll make it cyan. And we had a couple people asking like, is the color gonna stay magenta? And it's like, yeah, it's kind of gonna stay magenta, but no, because we can make it whatever we want. So we got these two guys. So we'll invert it. Let's do a color overlay here. And once we have this planned out, you know, we can make very quick changes across the board for different parallels. Oh, the color overlay is right here. We can't color overlay on a color overlay. So we have that color overlay there. And then we need to find the other scribbles. And this is where like labeling stuff would be good. So like these green scribbles. I don't know what they're laid. It's layer 37. Yup. Color overlay. Oh, it's right underneath the text. See, we can combine these together and give them the same color if we want. So we can make these theoretically magenta if we wanted. Wow, it's like real mad. I like changed the layers. Just waiting for my computer to explode. It's like really angry right now. See? I upped the performance and it's just like Lag City. It's not even showing that that's the same color. Unless this is changing more than I think it is. Oh, I'm just waiting for Photoshop to explode now. Okay. Let's take her backer. Okay, more backer. All right. Take this color overlay. Set this to 0 tab, 100 tab, 0. Okay, okay. So now the green is magenta. Good. That's what we wanted. Okay, we need these to be different though. These are behind him. So maybe we make these magenta. So we do just like a whole magenta thing. We'll drag that, put this here. So everything's magenta except for that. We need the one behind him to also be magenta. So we'll go swoop and swoop and swoop. There. And then Magnus's name is red because it's like spray painted on. But we can also fix that to not be that. And I don't think I have this set up. Do I have this set up in a good way? No, these are all set up to color overlay. Is it just this group? Is it just this? Yeah, so I can just give this a color overlay. Magenta. So I think that looks better. I think toning down the colors to just be 2 is better. So then what we can do is we can make a bunch of variations. Red and yellow. I don't know what other colors. Oh, we can look up. So Magnus is American, but it's Carlson. See this look? Yeah, that looks better. Yeah, I was gonna say he's very Norwegian. Norwegian flag. Of course, the Norwegian flag is just it's red, white, and blue because all flags are red, white, and blue. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I think part of it is we've got a little bit too much going on here. I'm gonna change the highlights here to be like 50%. So I think that reads well. What we can do now is we can save, quit out of this. We can then just duplicate this. We can do main, then we can go here. And this file is theoretically ready for printing. We can do one more thing to try and make it definitely better for printing. But for now, it's fine. Let me just hit some buttons somewhere. Do this, and this button. Okay, let's see how fast they can email me this for a code. It is 226. Oh, it came through immediately. Wow, okay, cool. And I'm entering a lottery system essentially. Okay, cool. Entered, great. Okay, so we want to change the colors of this. So I'm trying to think of what would look good and what would pop behind him. Red's obviously an option. We could do a blank sort of generic option. Not generic. We can do one where there's like no color and it's all holographic. We can see what that looks like. Because if we change anything to white, it essentially won't print. Because it's set to multiply. The top layer is. So it'll look like this. So if we change chess kings, and I think we can do this a little bit better. We can tidy this up a bit so we can find the stuff we need to change a lot easier. So this is color overlay. I think we want to, I'm going to keep this red at the very least. Okay, we don't need any of this. We don't need any of that. Let's drop down some of these. We don't need this. This we need. Okay, so we're going to, these are just shapes, so we can just change it here in the top left. Have it say chess kings. Change this color overlay to be white. We'll see how good or bad this looks. Maybe we'll do red with this. We'll do red for this, the remaining scribbles. So it's like a generic, it's a base version, but everything is red. I think that might look good. We're going to find out in a minute. Yeah, I think this looks pretty solid. And then we just got to change the overlays of these guys. Where are these guys? Oops. And what I would probably do is I could label these to be like red, and then I can just say, hey, show me red layers, and then change everything there. These are right here. We'll color overlay the color overlay, and we'll make it red, because red's easy. Trust me, I hit a bunch of buttons, and it should be good. Just likes to break. So then here's a red version. We save that, go back here. We've got our jazz version, our cyan version. And then we go here and we have, it's saving up here, you can see up there. Right here, it's saving 86%. It's gonna update this smart object. Boom, now it looks like that. So that's our red version. Red. All right, so we'll do new smart object via copy. We'll open up a new smart object, which will pop up right here. And then we can change other colors. So what I'm going to do something more interesting with background. So let's go like this. Let's add, I'm just trying to think of what like Panini does. So we're going to add a gradient. And we're going to do rainbow. And we're going to do radial. And we're going to attach it here. Yoink. And then we're going to go in and change where the radial gradient goes. So we're going to do this, except get rid of black. Save. Then we come back here. We've got the rainbow variant of the card. We know we can go. I want the red to be. I want to move everything in, so we see everything a little bit better. So now we got rainbows there, and then it's like, you know, we can do anything. So we'll keep this one red. We'll change this one to be yellow. We'll change this one to be green. And then we just change anything to be whatever we want, because it doesn't matter. And then this is the rainbow version. Red, orange, yellow, cyan. These are on him. This might not look good because it doesn't bleed here. It bleeds in here, so I might want to swap these. So that one's blue, and then we make this one cyan. So these are all colored. Then we go to chess kings. We can group this together, and then we'll just do a gradient. And I think the gradients are broken in this app. But we go like this. We go kings, chess kings. I don't know. So it looks like this. We got a rainbow version going on. We would need to find. We just go more and more back. Okay. None of this we need to change. We could change his name, but I like it just being spray painted red. This color overlay. So we're gonna add a color overlay to this, which we don't really need to do because it's just a shape. So we can just change the color here. So it would look good over there. So it needs to be like purple. Fill. Purple. And then this one can be something lighter like yellow. We didn't make it yellow though. We just made it nothing. So now it's yellow. So now we have the rainbow version. So we got a white and red version. And I mean, we can put anything in the background. You know, it doesn't have to be colors. We can put anything back there. So, you know, if we wanted to do something with a pattern, we could do that. So we'll do that in a sec. Let me just change these guys, which I thought I did. Shape 1 copy? No. Where are those? They're up top. And they're big scribbles. They're these. Oh, let me get rid of this color overlay. Okay. So top left, we'll make red. Or we'll make orange. We don't have anything orange. Make orange. And then bottom left, we can make kind of green. And bottom right, we can make yellowish. Or gold. Okay. So we're going to save this. Go out of that. It's going to update on our layer. We got another version. Let's make something really cool. So like some cards I collect some VFriends cards because I like the character You're Gonna Die Fly. And there's a refractor everybody likes. That is the cat fractor. So it's this pattern in the background. And I think having more and more stuff in the background that shows through is really key. So let me do new smart object be a copy. One thing we could do too with this whole thing is you can also change the chessboard in the background, because the chessboard in the background is a really big indicator of sort of what's going on. So maybe we make, what if we make Chess Kings black? And if you make something black, usually what's going to happen is it's going to print fully opaque. And that's not really what I want to do, but it might be something that looks interesting. The contrast is probably going to be really bad with his shirt. Yeah, because it looks like that. So we'll figure that out in a second. Maybe we'll just make it a different color. But in this, we're going to add... Let's sort of copy this. So this is yellow. So yellow is a good bold color to have in the background. Something like that. And then I'm going to make just a... These are new layers. I'm going to make a new document. The new document's going to be 50 pixels by 50 pixels. And I'm going to go to my glyphs. We're going to go to the glyphs. This is an ESPN font. We don't want that. We want to scroll all the way up to Apple Color Emojis. Come on. Apple Color 1 emojis. I know you want to do it. And then we can select... There. Okay. It just wasn't doing it there. We can select a couple things. We could find the Norwegian flag. We can make a Norwegian flag version. I want to find the goat symbol because he's the greatest of all time. Now here's a bunch of animals. I don't see the goat. Oh, here you go. Goat. Okay. Hide that. Make this larger. Oh, this says L and the goat. Oh, it says Lorem Ipsum in the goat. So we're just going to make the goat large like that. Hide the background. Turn this to a smart object. Just sort of combine this together. And then we go to image. Oh, you know what we should do? Should really just make this as large as possible. Let's just make it 500 pixels. So the goat itself can only be, like, these are sort of raster objects, so they can only be blown up so much. So, you know, see if I have this. This is set to 100, which is still kind of big. Let's just turn this to a smart object. So I'm going to go to File, no, Edit, no, yeah, Edit, Define Pattern, and then just say goat. Okay, so we have a goat pattern now. So I can go here and I can say, let's add a pattern. I would like to add a pattern of goats. It says scale 100%. I'm going to do 10 and then hit OK. Now, it's not showing anything because this color overlay. So I have to put this into a group. Then I can drop this on here. Then I can go in here and I can say scale 50%, 25%, angle 30. So then he has some goats on here. So if we go back here, we have a bunch of goats in the background. And then it's the goat who's what's it. Now, it's a little broken. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste it. I'm going to paste it here because if I paste it here, it's going to be not affected by some of these effects. But it kind of is, but isn't. So then we can go in here, we can tweak things. So one thing we can do too is we can, and I don't get why you can't do it here. I'm going to go in here and you can do you can fill. There, no. Hold on. If you have the marquee tool selected, you should be able to just fill this. Right click, color range, free transform, convert to smart. What? I want to fill. Edit, fill. Okay, whatever. And you can fill it with the pattern. So I can fit it. We can do a brick fill, opacity 100%, and then you can hit OK. And then it's going to pull this up, and it's going to show you what it looks like. So then if I hit OK, it fills it with that pattern. So now it's brick patterned. But if you want to tweak anything, you have to go back and do everything here, which is really weird. It's not scalable like at all. So we'll do pattern 0.25. Offset between rows is like 20. Oh, let's do a straight up 50%. Color randomness 0. Brightness randomness 0. So you can play in here and it'll show you what it looks like. And if you know what it's going to kind of look like, you can hit OK. Then it says there's the goat, and then we can put that there. So now we have a goat pattern on this. So he's the goat. And what we might want to do is we might want to sort of copy this and put it in the white layer somewhere. I don't know where, like where this is. Just sort of paste this in here. But just where the goats are. So it's like that. So then the goats print full and you can see the goats, but you can't see anything else. But I don't know. You guys let me know if you think that looks good or bad or weird or whatever. And maybe we put it in the background instead, which is also a possibility. So let's do that. And then we'll make a background for this. Okay, let me find the goats. We'll hide the goats. Got a yellow version. Sure. Let's go in here. I'm kind of rushing some of this stuff. What I'm trying to think actually is, you know, this is really gold. If we did like a gold version, it wouldn't work very well because we can't have gold on gold. It just wouldn't work. That's why I'm choosing colors that are like very, very, very different. So if we did a version that was primary colors, it would look kind of like this. And then we color overlay everything down here in blue. So everything's blue except for a couple things. I need the guys above the frame right here. Make these blue as well. And then we'll make Magnus. We'll make his name here, which is right here. We'll give this a color overlay of yellow. And it should change. There's like a primary color version. I like this. What I'm going to do though for this one is we're going to change the back. We're going to change the back to be that goat texture. So I think actually what I can do is I can just change this pattern fill to be goats. And then scale it to be 30%. Oh, see, this is the problem. This is why the pattern fill wasn't showing up before, because it's maxed out right here. See this right here? That's a problem. So we need to go like that. Then you can see the goats. I'm just going to turn this to a smart object. Copy this. We can change this color to be something else now. To be what? I don't know. I'm just going to make it green so we can see it. Oh, we're in the white layer. That's a problem. Well, we need to be down here anyway. So we're going to copy this. We're going to go up to the actual design layer. See, and that's where I screw a bunch of stuff up on accident. We're going to paste this here and get rid of this and get rid of this and turn this on. Really? I paste the pattern fill and it just doesn't go in the exact same spot, even though I paste it in place, which is really, really stupid. What is happening? Where's the opacity of this? Wow, see? The opacity was 75. It looked really bad. So we'll put some goats on here. So we've got some goats in the background now. You can't really see them though. So we might go in here and we might change this to be like 10. But you want to make sure that they can see their goats. So it's a whole thing. It's going to make them smaller and then save here, but I don't think it made them smaller. Okay, we're going to make this. I want this something contrasting so you can actually see the goats. Maybe it's this dark purple color. And you can see right now, can't see what anything is. I don't know what any of these colors are. Maybe we just make this like black. We make it kind of really dark. And we brighten everything else up for contrast. Okay, let me drag this pattern fill down here now. And these are the same, so theoretically, if I were to change something in here and make this 10, yeah, see, it didn't do anything before. If I save this, it should save to both. There. So now it's got a bunch of goats in the back. Now we can't see anything. So we need to change a bunch of this stuff. I'm not worried about the text. I'm worried more about the scribbly scribbles. So we're going to make the scribbly scribbles all yellow. I think that's partially due to yellow and black working well. Should also do a really dumb variant where he's Batman, because that's like a joke in chess that he's like secretly Batman. So we're going to make a version like that. But let me just tweak this final one here. We'll make this yellow. And I mean, everything could technically be yellow too. We could give this a drop shadow so you could read it, but we'll make this yellow. And then instead of doing the goats, we're gonna make him Batman. I wonder if I can find on Envato a Batman cowl. Here's Envato. I'm gonna search Batman. Yeah, it's definitely not gonna have I feel like they might 3D print, like, yeah, there's nothing. Oh, no, let me type Batman. Like, how much trouble would they get in? See, they've got all these bat symbols. And, like, that's pretty much the Batman symbol. A lot of these are. This will kind of work, though, too. Let's just find it. Let's just find Batman logo 60s. Ooh, I don't want that one. I just want the Batman logo. I want the classic. Yeah, this is what I want. Batman insignia. Here we go. Batfandom.com. This is what I want. I want the classic bat. So we're going to open link in new tab. And we're going to download this. Okay. Then what we need is we need Batman cowl. And we're going to do tools, advanced search, Batman cowl. We're going to do image size larger than 4 megapixels. And I want a cowl I can put on his face. So I need it to be kind of this, but not. I kind of want this. Open image in new tab. I don't know if this is big enough. Are there stuff applied to this that we can make it larger? No. Okay, we'll save this to downloads and see how it looks. I want kind of a realistic cowl on him, but it doesn't have to be realistic. But this is what the people want. They want goofy things. Open image in new tab. This one's so much larger. Okay, good. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Let's just start back up here. Top. Let me hide this artboard. We don't want this artboard. We have a design. We have white. I turn white off for a second. We're just going to look at our design. Okay. So right in the very back, this is what we're going to do. We're going to add our Batman logo. Good. We're going to do a color. Background's going to be this classic Batman yellow. We're going to make this smaller like that. We're going to open this file up. We're going to give it a little bit of padding around the edges. We're going to go to edit, define pattern, Batman. So then we'll go back here, hide this. And then let's do a general pattern fill. I think that'll work fine. We'll do pattern. We're going to do Batman. We're going to angle it like 35 degrees, scale 50, scale 40. Angle maybe 20. I want it somewhat angled, but not a bunch. I want it to kind of look like that. So that's what it will look like. Then we're going to go in and we're going to Photoshop this cowl on top of him. So let's use our best friend select subject, which should select it pretty easily. Select and mask, enter, convert to smart object. We'll go back here. We'll go back here. I'm going to just paste it here. Did I not actually copy anything? No, I didn't. And actually the only part of the cowl I want is buttons, is this top part. So we're going to group this together. Go like this. We're just going to give him this upper cowl. And how's that going to look? I don't know. It's fine. It doesn't really matter. And we're going to make this smaller so it fits over where his head would be. And we'll just match it up to match his face. We'll rotate it a little bit and make it smaller. And like it'd be nice if it like actually wrapped around his head, but like it doesn't matter. It's a freaking Batman cowl. It's like intentionally goofy. Now what we can do is we can puppet warp this. So we go like this, go like this, go like this, go like this, go like this. So we can drag this inward a little bit so it kind of matches and fits to his face a little bit. Let me drag this over and up. Maybe we move this one up a little bit and just go like that. There. Great. We did it. Then we can go to here and we can go to adjustments, just exposure, and just underexpose this and feather it like 10 pixels and then move this down. Maybe we feather it like 4 pixels. There. So now we have a sort of a Batman version. Except we need to make a lot of this other stuff more easy to read. And it might be because we need to change the background to be somewhat gray. Then we go somewhat gray with it. We grab, we can turn this pattern into just a smart object. We'll copy this. Without looking, we'll paste it here under the white and just hide this. And that should look good. But then we need to make everything else legible. So I'm gonna make his name yellow. I hate clicking on that on accident. We're gonna make his name yellow. Okay, hold on. Let's go back up here. We don't want the white layer. We want the design layer. Name. His name's on top. His name's right here. Okay. So his name is going to be this color yellow. So that matches. Okay, cool. That looks good. What I want to do actually is let's find a city. Let's find a photo of Gotham City. I'm literally going to just find a random photo of Gotham City. We're going to put it right here. We're going to blow this up. Move this up a little bit. And boom. Gotham City. There's so much going on in this. Can't see anything. I have no idea what's happening. I think we need to change then all of these color overlays. Let's see, Batman colors. I think it might be good if we do like this dark blue. So we're gonna grab this. Someone made this on DeviantArt, which looks good. But we don't really care about the DeviantArt aspect of it. We just want this blue color. Hello, blue color. We're gonna grab this blue right there. Thank you, DeviantArt. Hide. Grab this here, grab this here. And someone would probably be like, actually, that's... Whoa. Whoa. Hold on. Actually, that's the wrong color for that logo. But I don't care. Because it doesn't matter. So these are all blue now. So then we need all those top guys to be blue. Hide. There, so those are blue. So now we have this really kooky comic book version of the design. I need Magnus down here to be emblematic of Batman's parents being murdered. And we're gonna make it red. Okay. So this should look pretty sick if we set this to multiply now. So now it looks like this, which is good and bad. It's good because it's doing what we want. It's bad because the background's not doing what we want, because the background's being a complete butthead. So we'll grab this pattern fill and we'll just drag this down, drag to here and delete. There. So now we can see some pattern here. And we could get rid of this background completely so it looks like this. And I think that might look better. But here's our Magnus Chess Kings version. And I completely forgot about, because I deleted them. I had some other effects we did up here at the top. But that's fine. I wonder if we can grab, nah, it's fine. So we'll save that. Oh, we need to tweak just the two guys. These guys here. They're in the back. Let me grab this color. And then I think we'll call it here. Because we're just like fiddling around in Photoshop, making really goofy stuff. But that's the whole point of this, is just to goof around, see what kind of looks cool and what doesn't look good at all, and then just make something that I can be somewhat satisfied with. Oh gosh, we'll put this back here. So we've got Magnus Batman. We've got some other cards. I don't like the rainbow version at all. But you know what I do like? Is I like the Batman version. Because it looks hilarious. Good version, weird version. So we'll save back. We'll go back here. And then we'll put the Batman pattern in the background. Kind of like that. We'll change this. And it's updating the these smart objects as I do this, so it's doing a lot at once. Oh, it's so mad. Yeah, it's saving one layer in because it says SA right here. So we need to wait for that to save in order for this to then open up the other smart object. And we're really just pissing off Photoshop. Oh, I really don't want to quit out of this because we haven't saved like specific files up. So if this crashes, we lose all of this because we didn't save. There we go. We're updating the smart object. Everything's fine. I think the key to this is actually updating this background. Updating this background, that's a good parallel change. And then the colors we figure out can change with it. And then they're very drastically different looking cards. So it's sort of like a Panini Prism card, except all of the scribbles and stuff stay the same. So I saved it to be that, but I think I saved it again. So it's going to have to update again like that. There it goes. Let me just delete spam messages on Instagram, and there we go. Good. Okay. So now if I open up this, I can change this. And this is kind of weird how I have that set up. But now we have Chess Kings Magnus. Maybe we go and we just apply a hue and saturation layer just here to bump up the saturation so it looks better just because. Man, I should really make this look like it's on his face more, but we're not going to because it doesn't matter. I want this to be normal. Ooh. Yeah, maybe I do want it to be 50%. Maybe we don't want that there. Like that. Maybe we duplicate a little highlight in the background, a couple bits. Maybe we hide this even more. Maybe we just make this black. Everything looks better when this is on a dark background because it shows the shadows really well. I think we're gonna do that. And we'll save this out. And we'll share this. We'll post this on the gram. Batman Magnus. And we'll call it there. So this is our Magnus Carlsen design. So we've got multiple designs. This is sort of our main design for Chess Kings. It's really colorful and bright. We can also, we can tweak the text in the front. We can tweak the background to make it whatever. But then we have our Batman variation. And maybe there's too much Batman stuff with this. Maybe we do one where it's just the Batman cowl on him. But this is a fun little exercise that we we did and made over a couple days. So I hope you guys enjoyed this sort of process of making a card from scratch. We're going to come back tomorrow, do the same thing again. I'm going to figure out what other subject to do, pull some photos beforehand so we don't need to do that on stream, and then we'll go from there. So if you guys are enjoying this content, like and subscribe to the channel. I will be here. I'm going to try and stream like this every day, 2 to 3 p.m. if you guys are here or not. So with that, I will see you guys tomorrow. You guys have a lovely rest of your Monday. Go get something fun done today.